Check to your left corner, you'll see video.
Hold on. This is going to be a little tricky. Hold on, please.
No problem.
Hold on. Appa, I'm on a Zoom call. Please don't disturb me. I'm so glad I met you.
Thank you for saying so. Why do you say so?
Because it's not like we come across people who fall and then again get up and then again walk and again tread and again fall and again tread. So it's so good to see such exemplars.
Well, thanks for saying so. The kind of falls I have taken, I have not even I haven't been able to express it entirely, but I'm on it. I want to be able to express the kind of falls I have taken, and I refuse to die. The kind of falls I have taken have been extreme, but yeah, I'm a very mission oriented man. I want to accomplish what I am after.
I'm very glad such goals are also made. I'm very glad.
Thank you. Thank you. There was.
Yes, I have a book and I have a pen, and I'm ready, all set to hear whatever you want to say. But please don't ask me to go through Max websites. I am not going anywhere near mathematics at all.
Okay, no problem. I actually, I noticed that you were doing some work with schools, and fundamentally speaking, I'm absolutely against the idea of schools. I have been a victim of that system. But I wasn't a good fit in there. I was expelled from school. I was once suspended, then I was expelled, then I dropped out of college, and before Flipkart or anything in the name of startups happened in India, I had already raised $100,000 in investment for a tech company, and I was not educated in softwares either. But I was able to understand that the knowledge that was flowing through me was coming by virtue of communication and collaboration I was doing with a bunch of people around me who were willing to chase a common goal with me. So I thought that was a great model for education. Allow people to communicate and collaborate upon a common goal, and they will figure out their education in the process of all of that, and they will also feel more free. They'll feel that they'll get the taste of freedom if they are given that model. So I started developing a software, and which is on Android currently, and I've burnt a lot of money in that experiment, and I'm still chasing it. It involves a lot of artificial intelligence. And in the meanwhile, I stumbled upon, I was lecturing in some of the top colleges in India. And along the way, I stumbled upon some mathematicians who, 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 will, who were quite, aligned with my way of thinking about education. I'm talking 2011 and 12. And we realized that the way mathematics is taught, I mean, there is one subject that stands for universal truth, that is not an opinion of anybody. Oftentimes even physics is an opinion. It's always it's in the process of discoveries and rediscoveries and evolution. But mathematics is something which is the truth. There's no if and but and assumptions there. So we thought mathematics is a subject that we could take up. If there is one subject we want to train people, we don't want to train people in anything else. If there's one subject we want to train people in, we want people to live life, to experience life as it is. But if there's one subject we want to train people in, so that they can quantify everything abstract they are learning, then that would be mathematics. So what we did was we created a laboratory of mathematics for two top schools in Delhi. And so I thought I'll tell you that if I talk too much, or if you go through my writings, and I have written over 120,000 words, or 120,000 words I have already written on the internet, and I need at least 200 days to be able to organize what I'm talking about, and almost a quarter of that is about spirituality. I've been in three long states of samadhi, and I have great insight into into, you know, physics and mathematics naturally of the universe. So I have written plenty about that. And if I talk too much, I would not here be an entrepreneur. I would be more like a philosopher. So, so I thought first I'll point you to what I think is my game plan for monetization. Because at the end of the day, I'm a company, I'm a business, and so I thought you should go to my blog about mathematics. And I think if we can give that table we have made for mathematics to 1 lakh homes and tell them that their children will be better at mathematics if they're studying on our study table, by virtue of having our study table at their homes, they will become better mathematicians. They will not have to just look into the books and tutors for mathematics. Observing things we are building into our table may be enough for children to become better mathematicians. And having 1 lakh tables sold gives us a certain unit economics that makes our business potential look pretty commendable. So, so I thought I'll have you go through that blog and tell you that most of the times I'm discussing philosophy and spirituality, and um, and my conversation with you will be within those realms. An important topic apart from mathematics for children that I care about is parenting. I have I have great insights as a kid, you know, who was more energetic and more curious than normal people. I have had some problem in what was offered to me in terms of school or parenting. So I have some views on what it should be like. I was almost I was a rebel from the beginning. I think, you know, I was after something. It was only after a deep state of meditation, which in the first place was only out of the desire of you know, I was thinking too much. When my first company started, I dropped out of college. I raised money. I was thinking too much, and I wanted to put stillness into my mind. So I had not known what was yoga. I was very young. I was 24. There was no culture of yoga or meditation at my home. Nobody could have exposed me to something like this. But I thought to be able to stop your mind, you have to really sit to stop your mind. You have to chase that goal like any other goal. So I started chasing that goal of going absolutely silent, and that led me into a beautiful state, which I eventually learned is called samadhi. Now, after that, the orientation of my mind changed. In fact, the movement of my body also changed. The way I dance uh, is reflective of what that state did to me overnight. Before that, I could have not moved my body to music. Now my body becomes music with music naturally. It just flows with music. So overnight of gave me that you know, emptiness within my body also, let alone the mind. So it exposed me to wonderful uh, you know, ability to think about very complex problems even in the criminal justice system. So 120,000 words that I've written about include criminal justice system. I am particularly concerned about children. So you know about the case of Manav, the boy who committed suicide very recently because somebody made a false accusation on him of rape, and this is becoming a culture now. Women are accusing men falsely of crimes men have not done. So I started studying that, and I've already almost written 6 chapters in this topic, and I'm still in the process because I get very concerned when children have to take a hit of the ill society that all of us have built. So so a lot of times, you know, I'm busy creating that content which I think has been particularly attractive to the kind of talent I have attracted towards me. And that talent wants to chase truth. That talent is outside the realm of religion. It's outside the realm of subjectivity. It wants to get into objectivity of things. So you know, a lot of my time in a day goes into all of these things. And because of that, I found myself almost dyslexic at topics of business that are, say, accounting, paperworks. You know, every time I have to deal with my company secretary or a chartered accountant, I find it very, very problematic. It's like I'm not meant for this. Sometimes I'm telling you honestly, I feel like I want to renounce because I want to think right, and I want to inspire people with what is the knowledge that is flowing through me, and I want to be able to tell them. I want to be able to tell them, I have injustice, and I will someday talk about it. And I'm saying it from the sense of, when you go to a police station, and when you want to talk to the police, and they're rude, they're rude people, and they want money to do even the right things. They're corrupt. So what does a person like me do? I fight with them, and I argue with them, and sometimes I pick up enemies, and I'm not scared of any of that, but but it, but it comes from a place of fearlessness, and nobody has been able to destroy me in spite of the kind of enemies I have picked, the fights I have picked. So there are fundamental lessons that I can impart to children. Mathematics is the least of it. I have an Android app, which, simply put, is my take on a social network of action in the world of social network of talks. So Facebook and Twitter, it's my take against these systems which are causing anxiety in the world, which are creating a culture of self-gratification. You're putting your selfies only for likes. You're talking for talk's sake. You're not really acting upon the talk. You're too quick at judgment, without evidences. That's not the kind of culture that I'm hoping for my children. So I built a model for what should be a new kind of a social network, and I released that as an Android app. And eventually the goal was to capture the conversation between two people, and and run artificial intelligence on top of it to quantify that conversation into education degrees. You know what I mean? Say you
I
and I
think
were
I understand.
Say you and I were to start a restaurant, and you were to be a chef of a restaurant, and our communication was, and I was to be the manager or the visionary behind the restaurant, and my job was to tell you what are the kind of dishes I want you to learn. And eventually, after 6 months, you over those conversations, you were in your location, I was in my location, and you came back to tell me that, okay, I have learned dosa making, I have learned chola bhatura, I have learned dal rice, I have learned the following dishes. And we were a team of people who were listening to our conversation, and everybody approved that, yeah, you have learned these things because of the features on the app. Just like just like you say you have done a task when you have done a task, because you don't want to lie about it, because you want to run your business. So you mark a task done when you have actually done a task. So there are tasks that seamlessly in a conversation I gave to you, and you mark them done when you did them. When you come back to me with information about what are the things you have learned to cook, it reveals to me that you have learned cooking. That should lead to some kind of a diploma with cooking, because you have learned cooking. So if this conversation was to happen on on my social network, it's a chat app. If you download it on Android, it's a chat app. It's like WhatsApp on steroids for productive people. It's been designed as a WhatsApp. It's so simple that it's as simple as a WhatsApp, but almost like WhatsApp is on steroids. It's making people more productive. So if you and I, Bhanumati, talk for say 6 months, and if it's all about the problems of our country and the problems for children that children have to face day to day, then maybe I'll get a degree of sorts, something like Masters of Philosophy of Children, something like that. If we were talking on my communication app, because it wants to record these things and quantify these things into education degrees. So it requires, a lot of extraordinary immersion in thinking, only in the thinking realm, something that philosophers did, something that Rishi Munis did, not what our entrepreneurs do. So my problem and the challenge that I face is that I just happen to be a businessman, because I'm talking the language that engineers understand, that people of physics understand, people of mathematics understand. I have raised investment in the past. If you go to my LinkedIn and if you see the recommendations I have received, it's all from very good, top quality entrepreneurs. There are two companies in our country very big companies, over $200 million in value. Uh, One is called 91 Springboard. One is called Imbibe. Imbibe.com is a competition to Baiju. It's an education app. Reliance invested $180 million in it. Imbibe had made an offer to me to join them as a director. 91springboard.com is the largest co-working spaces company in our country, and their founder made me an offer to join them as a co-founder. But these things are not really, according to me, solving real fundamental problems. Uh, it's better to educate people about the truth than to start a billion-dollar e-commerce company, in my view, because that's not solving fundamental problems in the world. It's one capitalistic facade after the other capitalistic facade. For example, Oyo is not really solving any fundamental problem, or Ola is solving a problem that was already solved very well by Uber. This is a waste of talent. Or Flipkart has solved a problem that was already being solved by Jeff Bezos of Amazon. It's a waste of talent trying to solve problems that are already solved or are not even problems in the first place. So, um, so I could not accept these offers, and I have come to a conclusion that I am actually fundamentally a guy with intrinsic desire to make this world a better place. And I don't care whether I do it as an entrepreneur, I do it as a philosopher, but it turns out that I have this ability to make products that are not made before in our country. So my challenge now, I'll come to the point straight away. When you sent an email to me, I was very happy to receive your email, one, because mostly people, there were very few people like you at your age, who are excited about doing something soulful or touching upon something new. It's mostly it's youngsters that I get to dabble with. It's the young people who have this spirit to change the world and do something great. And I talk to them, and I feel that it would be so much better if they have some more experience of real life, that they'll be able to manifest things that I'm dreaming better. Otherwise, it goes into a loop of conversations, and they get distracted by so many things that are going on. It's only, I was like that, when I was 25. I think the single biggest reason that after raising $100,000 at the age of 24, having 12 people team from IIT Delhi, and I failed because I was one of those youngsters that I don't feel are fit to build businesses of magnitude just yet, because we are very distracted at that age. We don't know the fundamentals. We don't have any clarity over fundamentals of life. And we get one lesson from somebody and we get excited about it. We get easily excited and we take something up, but it does not, dance to the tunes of our soul, and then we give up. So now I don't want to make those mistakes. I'm more like, in the world of fast entrepreneurship, I'm the guy who wants to propose slow entrepreneurship. I want to tell people to take it easy, be slow. There is no hurry, there is no race. So you know i I feel that I'm very good at making products with that kind of values, where I'm saying that let's not be in a hurry to make $1 billion. Let's only make the product that no one else because, because they don't have those intrinsic values. For example, I don't think there are people left in the world who have the courage to fight Facebook and Twitter and Snapchat. But if you go to my Android app, the least you will figure out is that I have the courage to want to fight them. And I must have spent a lot of money in trying to do these things, to trying to build an Android app which looks good. It looks like a best productivity app, although it's a chat app, but I'm saying it's the best productivity app ever made. Why is it a productivity app? Because whenever we talk in the language of actionables, when you talk for talk's sake, I don't really know you're learning anything. But when you say you have done something, I know you must have learned something to have done something. So when you mark something done, to me it looks like you have learned something, and let me be able to quantify this as an education degree someday. So I'm chasing that goal, and even if I have to spend 10 years doing it, I want to do only that. In the process, I'll tell you where I end up losing. I end up losing where a bania is better fit is a better fit, which is handling your accounts, looking at your paperwork, looking at compliances, or 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 even day to day of business. Because, sometimes I really, like right now, both my phones, I haven't recharged my phones for months now. I don't want to receive phone calls and I don't want to make phone calls. I am on my laptop and we are not on WhatsApp because I even use my WhatsApp from my laptop. I don't want, this incoming stream of messages and feeds and all that in my life. Uh, I it's I'm actually I'm actually trying to put words to, when when they say that the life began from nothing, or we are all connected. When they say these things, there is a language they're speaking that is not fundamentally connecting with people, because they're not really being able to give reasons for or objectivity behind this. They're not speaking language that you are. They're not speaking this language that I think I have been blessed with. This language, which is a marriage of philosophy, spirituality, and quantum physics. These three topics have not been married together well, because either a person goes into studying quantum physics, or goes into studying philosophy, or goes into spirituality with gurus. I am this guy who has not studied. I'm a college dropout. Didn't study science. Didn't study quantum physics or science. I said generally. Didn't study. Didn't have any guru. A guru didn't tell me what is samadhi, or a guru didn't tell me how to empty my body in the way that I could dance the way I dance. I have videos on Instagram of my dance, and there is this extraordinary peace in the quality of the dance that I do. And I know I'm not trained, and I know at 25, before samadhi, I was not able to move my body to music. It happened overnight. So it was good. It was an event important enough in my life. And it's like when you focus on something very deeply, you you go beyond the limitation of human body. We only interpret 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz of vibration. But when you are able to concentrate your attention to something very deeply, you can even see sound. Sound is also vibration of particles. You can see sound, and that's what happened with me when I was transitioning into samadhi. I went into samadhi, but before that, I saw sound. I saw the colors that sound was making. So, I started thinking about these things, and I went into the Himalayas. For 5 years, I lived in the Himalayan range, and I had long beard. I was among the sadhus, but I did not want to take up that life, because I thought they were not intrinsically curious to know what was the beginning of the universe. They were chasing the thoughts of the guru, whoever their guru was, or their jesht. They used to ask these questions from people. आपका इष्ट देवता कौन है? इष्ट देवता कौन है का अर्थ है, who is your god you believe in? I don't believe in these questions. And I know what was that state that I experienced when I was in a deep state of meditation, and I want to only inquire that. So I spend a lot of time inquiring that, and now my language has brought me in the realm of frequency, energy, and vibration. And I want to tell people that we are particles who are vibrating, but the underlying layer that connects us all is of the frequency called zero. The frequency of the empty space is zero. All the vibratory movements that are happening are leaving their impression on this empty space called zero. So the event of enlightenment is when you reduce yourself to that state where the frequency is zero, meaning nishchal, no movement, a state of no movement. That's where you get the impression of all vibration of the universe. Now, this language, when I speak with people and I tell them that you look at your, if you chase the direction of your mind, you will fundamentally realize that if there is any movement in the mind in the first place, it is like, let's say you are living a life of materialism. You're materialistic, and you define your identity by what you possess. If you have a Mercedes, it gives you a certain identity. If you have a degree, it gives you a certain identity. If you have children, it gives you a certain identity. If you are chasing a dream, or if you want to build a business, it gives you a certain identity. So we can conclude that the movement of the mind is to give itself an identity. And that is in the world of mind. So we can conclude that the direction that the mind takes is to give itself identity. When the mind is there, but it's not in the state of movement, even then it wants to give itself identity. That is a fundamental attribute of the mind. When it is in vibration, it wants to, for example, you can't know what is black without having a reference. You need the opposite. You can only find meaning to things in relation to something else.
You want to connect this to your Max, or you want to connect this to our exploration?
Yeah, I want to connect this to our exploration, and I want to tell you that there is a certain language that I think that I'm speaking, which can expose people to understanding how there are a lot of curious people, who are taking up yoga. Now, now they reach a topic of understanding what is life and why is there so much pain in life. And when they dig this topic, they want to know, how did life happen? How did it originate? Did it really originate from nothing? What is nothing? So I realized that I'm telling you what we are doing today in my company. So we are starting a series of YouTube videos where I'm speaking this language of philosophy, quantum physics, and spirituality. And our goal is to get people to understand, why are we building the business of mathematics, and why are we building our Android app? Why are we building these two things? What is the fundamental reason? So, so this is all I want to do in my business, Bhanumati. I want to be able to record and write the stuff that we hear people like Jiddu Krishnamurti or Sadhguru or Ramana Maharishi or David Bohm or Albert Einstein or Stephen Hawking, the things that these people of the world were chasing and writing, but they had their own language and their own topics. Maybe the way they spoke connected with a certain breed of human beings and not with a certain breed of human beings. So there is a certain language that I speak, which is unique, which connects with a certain breed of youth. And so we decided, I and Ajay is my colleague. He's from University of Southern California. He was, sorry?
I saw the website.
Oh, you saw the website. Okay, perfect. So Ajay is about 42 years of age, and he was earlier a pilot. He was studying aerospace engineering in University of Southern California, and then he met me 2013, and then he went into healthcare, and now we have decided basically to, because we often speak about that the problem is we are a representative democracy. We're not a direct. The world needs to understand that we have internet, and internet can enable the world to become direct democracy. And that's why there are so many problems in the world, because we haven't really put ourselves in tune with the changes that internet has enabled, but we haven't let democracy touch internet properly. So we had this dialogue and we decided, let's make videos now. Let's do such calls.
Okay,
And let's
so how can I be of support on this?
Yeah, perfect. So, if you can free me from, handling the, how much share, who owns, like, money is not my concern. I want to share my business. And I really, like, I don't have goals of marrying or, having a family or anything. So money is not really my concern. I want to, I want my work to be felt, and my work can be felt on two bases, only two bases. I have to create the products. And to build world-class products, I have to do what the founders of WhatsApp did. What did they do? They didn't come into the public space and market themselves. They just sat down to make the product. That's it. We don't know who are the founders of WhatsApp. Nobody cares. But their product is with us because it's a remarkable product. So to do that, what I haven't been lucky enough to find so far is somebody who says that, okay, I'll look after the other aspects which don't require you to continue being a philosopher, mathematician, and a technologist, a scientist who wants to develop and just does not want to preach, wants to develop products that have the values that you want to talk about. And and because I'm anyway talking and inspiring my team members who are asking me questions, like for example, because of the suicide of Sushant Singh, somebody sent a message to me. They said that this world is not meant for people like you guys. You're people with free spirit, people who are just creativity really is when you're not just painting the same things every day. When you're a Picasso, today you are doing the canvas, you're painting that, then tomorrow also you're doing this painting. For whole life, you're a painter. That's not creativity. When you do new things in life, that's creativity. When you're doing something today, but you had a realization that there's something more important there, then you do that. You try to do that, master that, and till you realize that this is the truth. This is the fundamental problem you
So,
want to solve.
you're thinking of somebody who will excuse you from the space that you are right now to be able to like do the space that you are really want to immersing yourself in.
Yes, for example, you see me talking. My sister is my twin sister. I have a twin sister. She's in New York. She's running a technology business there. It's a multi-million dollar value business. It's been funded by the top incubators in New York. Um, and basically, you know, I have this. I'm telling you honestly, I have accepted it. I don't. I'm not able to speak. You know, I'm verbose. You understand verbosity?
I do.
You do? Okay. So I'm verbose because there are lots of things that I need to uncover, and I'm known for that. And you know, like for example, she I know can be a great talent for our company because she starts to realize that she's also deeply spiritual, and she's realizing that she's not getting that happiness from the business she's built. It's a business of luggage storage. You know, when you go deep, you these businesses don't satisfy you. You want to give people freedom. That's the only thing that you human of you know, some deep inclination wants to chase. So I think she can be a great team member. So for example, there are some people I'm not fit to talk to, including my sister. So Bhanumati can talk to her. And you know, that business hiring, the process of onboarding people, you know, because they may not be able to understand the deep language that I speak.
Basically, being your public face.
Yeah, something like that. You know, there was a Rumi and there was a Shams. Do you know of the story of Rumi and Shams?
Oh, that's fine. It's okay. So right now, one proposition is that there be a person who is your public face, right?
Yes, yes, something like that. And also somebody who just frees me of business. I just build my products and hand it over to you, and and that's it. Like my job is the guy who is R&D guy. I'm not to be the CEO. I'm not to be public. I just want to research and develop and hand over the product to the business team.
Okay, so basically, the CEO comes CEO of the company in a very technical jargonish way.
Come again, please. Your voice is cracking.
The CEO or the COO in a very technically jargonish way.
Yeah, I mean, not me. I'm like, you know, for example,
Yeah,
there was a
the other person who's taking over. Yes,
yes, yes,
the
yes,
public
like
face.
yes, like there was Mahatma Gandhi who did not take any public positions. He was not the prime minister. He was not the president. Something like that, you know. So if we were a country, I would want to be the Mahatma Gandhi. You know, I don't want to take any positions. I just want to do my philosophy.
I completely understand. Is there anything else that you want to propose?
Yes, I want you to. There's an old article that I wrote about you know, education for children of ideas. So I will send that. I've already drafted that email for you, but I thought that'll be too much. It's got a lot of. It'll require 4 or 5 hours of really watching those videos and reading things. But it has nothing to do with what you have to touch right now. I send the mathematics business to you because that's something that we can monetize. It's like, you know, there is a Lala model to it. आपने हमसे, do you understand Hindi?
I do.
हाँ, तो आपने हमसे टेबल खरीदी, 10,000 रुपए की स्टडी टेबल खरीदी और हमने 5,000 रुपए की बनाई, तो हमें प्रति टेबल 5,000 रुपए का मुनाफा हुआ. हमारी स्टडी टेबल दुनिया का पहला स्टडी टेबल ब्रांड बनेगा, क्योंकि दुनिया में स्टडी टेबल का कोई ब्रांड नहीं है. तो हमारी स्टडी टेबल अगर आपके घर में होगी तो आपके बच्चे गणित और बेहतर सीखेंगे और नेचुरली सीखेंगे क्योंकि आपके घर में हमारी टेबल है. तो वो एक ऐसा बनिया मॉडल है जो हिंदुस्तान की भेड़ ऑडियंस को, भेड़ इन्वेस्टर्स को, सॉरी फॉर, प्लीज डोंट माइंड माय वर्ड भेड़, बट आई थिंक in India is like that. Investors are like that. They don't want to do anything disruptive. So इन लोगों को समझ में आता है ऐसा मॉडल. जिसमें आप कोई चीज बनाते हैं और बेचते हैं और उसमें इतना रुपया आता है. उनको ना
So
गूगल
the
जैसी
second proposition,
is
the
run this
second
company,
proposition.
is run our
Okay.
mathematics business. It's a separate business. It's called Precede Ed K-12 Private Limited, and the team, because of COVID, is like really like demotivated. It's very challenging, scratch, and for it to get heard, for it to be felt, even though we are in top schools. Our laboratory built by us is in top schools, but it becomes very difficult to sort of run and grow the business as a business. We have developed a product. Now what? They come to me, Nishchal, now what? And I'm like, man, now we have to market it, and please go ahead and do it, because I don't want to be spending my time on marketing it. There are bigger challenges that I want to work on. And so, the challenge is that this business is left out now. I am into my metaphysics. This business is getting left out. And this business I recognize is that very model that Indian investors understand. I want to tell you my pitch. If you were to go to an investor, or if you were to connect with an investor and tell them what we are building, what we can tell them is that it's very clear, because of COVID, that education can also happen on mobile apps. People went into their mobile phones and continued their education on mobile apps like Baiju and Mbibe and so on and so forth. We want to tell them that just educating children on mobile app is not enough. You need to give them that room which has education fitted into the room. So, just imagine when I say a laboratory of education in a school, why can't that laboratory be built into your room? Is the question I'm asking. If you can afford, as a parent, to invest 1 lakh rupee into your child's room, I can make your child's room into a room where education is fitted into the room, not in books, into the
So the
room.
second proposition is just taking up this mathematics and making it a viable, ongoing stuff.
Yeah, running it as a business, because I'm not I'm not the good guy to run it as a business. I'm just not wired like that. So the second proposition is the conversations with investors should not happen with me, because you look at me how I talk. Investors will like puke. They will throw up. They'll be like, "What is this guy talking? We don't understand." So so I'm not the guy who should talk to investors. I should not talk to anybody. If at all, if somebody, then maybe just the product team. Just the product team. The product team wants to know, Nishchal, um, how do we make this table? What should be the size of the table? I should be the guy who should
So
answer
what do
this.
you think? Do you have a third proposition or something, or is this it?
No, it's only my only two propositions are: one is a business which monetizes itself, which is our mathematics business, which is unit economics. Is every table we sell, we make 100% profit. And the second proposition is over time, just read what I have written and the YouTube videos of mine. Just watch them, and when we connect again, it's not often we'll connect. I can give you all the rights. I do not have any trust issues in life, so I can give you all the rights. You won't even need me, to run the business. I will start work towards building camaraderie between you and my team, between you and the people I've identified who are potentially very strong for a business. But my nature is not good a fit to be handled, to be in conversation with them, including my sister. I'm not according to her, my nature is not good enough for her, you know. But if you and Neha, my sister, are talking, then it may work. I have a feeling you guys may become partners of sorts. And she's more on the, like I have more ether in me. She has more earth in her. So, मतलब earth, air, water, fire and ether, उसके अंदर earth है ज़्यादा, मेरे
Because
अंदर ether,
I understand. Got
right?
you.
So I'm saying that so I'll connect you with people I think who can be very good collaborators with us, and I'm not a good fit for them because of my nature. Second, I'll connect you with my team, my current team, which is on product development. And after that, my only second proposition is I'll keep sending links to you. I'll only interact with you on email. I'll send links to you. You just go through them. What that will help is in you understanding that when you ask, okay, Nishtal, now I don't know Bhanumati. I'm the only one talking because right? I
Yeah,
want
yeah,
to.
I understand both the things. So we can figure out how to go about it once I also think about this and get back to you.
Sure, sure. And I want to tell you, that when you look at the content, you'll realize that the marketing that will happen through this content is exactly the same. When somebody starts today, you understand what is the growth of YouTube. When you are creating content which is of value, your marketing happens from there. So the act of getting the eyeballs of our audience, you understand. I want to drop some website names to you right now. Just tell me if you have ever heard of them or not. Do you know what is patreon.com?
Sorry?
Do you know what is patreon.com?
No, no, no.
Do you know what is crowdfunding?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so you understand the concept of crowdfunding is that when you can speak the language that connects with the crowd comes and funds you, simply put. So the whole goal is, I want to be the guy who raises the investments for our business, but I don't want to interface with the investors. That's not the language I speak. I want to directly raise crowd money. So the content that I'm working on is to inspire the crowd to come and support us and advance book our tables. For the next 1 year, I only want to focus on producing the content
Yeah,
and
I
get.
get it. I get it. In both the cases, I understand the what. So we can figure out the how once I look through this whole thing and when I also feel that I am a good fit for this or this is
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I want to do.
yeah, perfect,
So
perfect.
mail will work.
Sorry, come again.
Mail works, right? The
Yeah,
mail works, right?
this works. I have only one question now, and after that, you're free to say anything you like, or leave if you will. My question is that the website that you sent to me that I went to had a list of schools, and I want to know that is that a company, or is that a NGO, or what is it, and what was the main
This,
fundamental goal?
so basically, this was started as LLP and now it's not LLP anymore. It's a sole proprietorship,
Okay.
whereas it's an organization as such.
Hmm.
And we have this team and we work on school transformation. I don't believe in schooling. So while still schools are there, can we make it a better place where it's not still too much of schooling? Is what is
Right.
the attempt all about. I majorly work closely with the government of Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, and Tamil Nadu because I was a government employee for a long time myself, and I gave up the job. So, so I think that's what it is. And the private schools have a different mindset that doesn't align. So we do try and do justice because I also take up executive coaching. So unless the school's executive signs up for a coaching, I don't take up school transformation process at all with them because it's fundamentally useless that we are not, we are not feeding the roots, but we are still trying to grow the tree. So yeah, so that's what it is. These are the people I work with, and yes.
So the schools that are listed there, can you tell me of one school that you were really proud of having serviced, and what was the service you gave to them?
I think that will be the government of India, mostly the Telangana social and tribal welfare departments, because the projects were very unconventional and very student driven. Yeah.
What were the tell me one project. Like when you say projects,
So
I'm not.
let's say two of the flagship project was about the Green Guru student, Green Gurus and super students. So Green Gurus was about picking students from different schools where the teacher-student ratio was proper and taking these students away from the school so that they are available in schools where the residential school, the teacher-student ratio is skewed up or the dice data is skewed up. So they go and they teach in a very unconventional manner in those schools weekly twice um, to make it all right. So that is Green Guru project. And the other one is Super Students, where the the students teach over television through debates, drama, dance, creative arts. Yeah. So
Okay. All
these
right.
two are like, and
So
maybe like the ELSP project in with Tamil Nadu, that's employability and life skills driven in schools that were mostly dropout schools,
right,
to ensure that the students have life skills mostly even before they drop off.
right. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So, okay, fair enough. So basically, mostly, so this is how I bifurcate as in business, especially tech-oriented mindset, understands there's something called service and there's something called product. Services, we say, is not very scalable as a company, as
It
an organization.
isn't.
That's right.
It
Do you
isn't.
agree? Yeah, perfect, perfect.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay. Perfect. So that's why, like, so basically, I'm particularly very product oriented. So product, because products are scalable. They create valuations, and
You're right.
it's only now that I've become spiritual and into philosophy. But earlier it was only pure sharp business, 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 and
But I think that you are right in some ways, because it still has to be a very differentiated approach at all ages. Because we are still mortals, we have not yet gone into some Himalayas without any food sitting there. When we have to create employability and we want to be good to the society, we need money. And it has
abs-
to be driven like this. The
absolutely,
service
absolutely,
part of it is very good. We can still be altruistic, compassionate, beautiful, kind, lovable,
right,
affectionate, giving sorts.
right,
Absolutely fine.
yeah.
But this has to be only in this way. There's no other way out of it.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And I know if I don't monetize this year, I'm going to be in serious trouble because all my ideas will
I know.
fall from. I need money to be able to do what I'm doing. So hence product. So so my request, in case you are up for what we are doing, and if you can ignore me thereafter, because I'm a silly passionate man who is not the guy you need to deal with when you are running our business. I'm the last person you'll be dealing with. It's everyone else you'll be dealing with from my team. Um, then if we can, I'm so because it's made of my vision. I can envision the time for telling parents that their room of their children should have objects that can induce education in them. It's not just the mobile phone. I want to tell them that you are studying everything on the mobile phone. If you are given a table at home where at least we take away one subject's dependency from mobile phones, even if the dependency from school was gone, from teachers and tutors, if you look into the future of education kind of debates, it's becoming evident that the role of teachers is going to diminish, the role of schools is going to diminish, and all of that. And if you look at these patterns, it's more likely there'll be facilitators, because the information is going to be on the internet. You don't need to use the blackboard as a teacher to tell somebody a formula. It's already on the internet. You will be facilitating. So the role of facilitators take place. Parents will become the facilitators, more or
True
less.
that. I completely agree. So when you say the how part of it, I think we should definitely explore it once I am into this. So right now I got the two words, and I think I want to seriously look into the documents or the links that you're sending. And I want to get back to you with the timeline. So tomorrow EOD, you will hear from me. In the meantime, if you have got something for me to read, or like, no, I like completely work with timelines. I am very strict about the way I communicate, and I don't expect, which is why I felt very guilty getting your mail on the spam box. I'm sorry about it. So
No,
I think
no.
like I'm going to like get back to you before tomorrow night, and also intimate you that what my consensus is and what I think I know I'm fit for, and what I want to do going ahead.
Oh, perfect. No, I don't want you to. I don't want you to read anything else, because the only one thing that I want you to read, I have already sent to you. There's nothing else, because the business focus that the very problem is that this focus is not there in me as a sharp, with a boundary. So I don't want to distract you with anything else. But once you have taken charge, if you do take charge, over time I'll send some links to you. So although I have already created that draft, I'll send it to you some other day. Maybe I will put you in touch after you have gone through Precede Ed K-12 Private Limited, Ed K-12 Education Kindergarten to Class 12. Precede Ed K-12 Private Limited is the company. It only builds mathematics study table. There is one product and there's one company, and there's nothing else I want to distract you towards, not even my Android app. But over time, I will expose you to everything else that my organization Precede is after. But for now, maybe I'll put you in touch with my other co-founder, who is the main guy on mathematics. And he doesn't talk like me. He's the exact opposite. He will be to the point.
Absolutely fine. Either ways it works. It is
Okay.
not a big deal. Oh, come on. The least we can do is to hear people talk. It's just that I don't want to get distracted, so I ask questions in between. I'm glad that we spoke, and I'm glad that you expressed whatever you expressed, and I deeply respect your work so far. Let me get back to you before tomorrow evening.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good day.
All right. Bye. Good day to you too.